Welcome to the channel about news from around the world. While you subscribe and like it, we're going to start. One of Russia's key, but certainly not the only, trump card in the so-called global game is the nuclear industry. While other industries may have raised the question last year, what have we been doing all these years? Everyone else has an interest in Russia's peaceful nuclear activities. With the collapse of the Soviet Union and the end of the nuclear race, for example, the United States lost almost all of its uranium industry. Their dependence is truly threatening. In the last 30 years they have managed to complete only one nuclear unit and launch another new one. The UK is forced to build nuclear power plants in consortium with Chinese companies. So basically, you could say that without Russia, their nuclear power industry would completely collapse within a year and a half. At present, our country is the only supplier of high-quality, low-enriched uranium, which is indispensable for the United States. Every seventh ton burned in US reactors comes from Russia. Rosatom provides 28% of the uranium enrichment services to the US power industry. France is also involved. But Electricité de France can cope with their domestic market. For the French nuclear industry, however, the situation is not good. Although they are not dependent on Russian fuel supplies for their nuclear power plants, only Russia can recycle uranium. It is therefore not surprising that the West has recently stepped up its game on this issue. The attack on the previously unofficially untouchable Rosatom is in full swing. In Europe, individual countries have been screaming for years about the need to include nuclear power in the next package. In reality, however, they cannot do anything serious. For example, the Finns have abandoned the Hanhikivi nuclear power plant and incurred penalties. The United States, by contrast, has acted more quietly, but more dangerously on the issue. In 2023, the first restrictions were imposed on a subsidiary of Rosatom overseas, which is responsible for building nuclear science and technology centers abroad. The UK has also imposed restrictions on 9 Rosatom entities. Moreover, even the head of Rosatom, Alexei Likhachov, has been affected by the restrictions. Not so long ago, there was a rather significant event. During Rishi Sunak's visit to Washington, the United States and Britain signed an Economic Partnership Agreement, or Atlantic Declaration, one of the aims of which is to squeeze Russia out of the nuclear energy market. On the one hand, it is understandable that they can conclude whatever they like. However, it is simply impossible to squeeze Russia out of the nuclear market. Moreover, the restrictions themselves are specific and do not affect the most important areas of Rosatom's work, such as the construction of new nuclear units or the sale of fuel. But this is only because the West is currently heavily dependent on the Russian Federation. However, the defiant rhetoric suggests that they are ready to go all the way and will try to do as much damage as they can at the first opportunity. Yes, they cannot do anything fundamentally dangerous in this area, but that is no reason to ignore such declarations. Thank you for watching. If you're interested, subscribe and leave a comment.